It's better for me to expect the worst. Everyone's going to hurt me and walk away at some point.
I have to depend on myself. I can't do this. I can't do this. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to get hurt. I can't do this again.
So I have to depend on myself. I only have to trust on myself. It is the only way I can be happy.
I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm all alone. I can't do this. No one wants me. I can't do this. I'm all alone. It's better this way. I can't do this. I can't.
Was the biggest lie that I ever told myself. Why do we need human connection? Is this something that is actually important? Is this something that is actually adding value? Can I go on without it? Because from an outside perspective, I live with myself every single day. My body does what it needs to. I have the capacity to carry on every single day. I have for years and years and years. So is this actually something beneficial? Is it a requirement? Is it just a suggestion? Or is it actually one of the most important things that is keeping us alive? So let's start with answering that question. Why do we need human connection? For one, it is hardwired to our behavioral habits as well as our physical health. What happens if you're alone all the time? Is this something that we should have learned by now? Yet this is still a difficult concept for us to grasp because of the things that are around us. We constantly see danger. We constantly are experiencing hard things. It is easier by default to lock the doors, stick to what we know, and to avoid possible danger. We literally have something in our bodies that lets us know when we are in danger, whether that be an increased heart rate or a gut feeling. This being the case, it makes sense why it's easier to be isolated. But if we are constantly living in that state, what is the repercussions? Is it all positive? Studies show that isolation can make you literally go crazy. This way of living adopts the following: hypersensitivity, causing an increase in heart rate, paranoia, violent fantasies, identity breakdown, as well as many of the mental health issues we see today, such as chronic anxiety and depression. This also decreases white matter in the brain that are important for thinking and emotional control. Physically, this includes a weaker immune system, cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure, memory issues, diabetes, obesity, and overall a shorter lifespan. All of this happens with one decision: isolation, avoiding people, avoiding connection. On the positive, engaging in human interaction lowers anxiety, depression, as well as stress, and can actually act as a buffer in difficult times. In turn, this positive reaction improves our physical activity, affirms our sense of belonging, creates more opportunities, and overall extends our survival. These marvelous benefits are things that automatically attach to us just by connecting with people. So then if you think further, what's the very heart of connection with people? Trust. Trust is at the very center of every single human relationship, whether that be marriage, friendships, mother and father, sister, coworker, a pet. Trust is the heart of every single one of these relationships. Trust is a sense of safety, causing the things in life to be less difficult, enabling peace, strength, productivity, as well as self-growth. When you don't have this, your mind is agitated, causing you to live in a state of stress all the time. Your sleep is corrupted, as well as your mental and physical health, once again. So then the question then becomes, can you actually live in a state of stress all the time? As someone who has, no. But let's get into the science. So constantly living in a state of stress, physically this means panic attacks, difficulty breathing, blurry eyes, migraines, insomnia, high blood pressure, dizziness, fainting, weight loss, weight gain, inflammation, coronary heart disease. Mentally, this increases anxiety, depression, substance use disorders, and you are unable to keep yourself safe. You literally have the inability to keep yourself safe. So we see the value in the feeling of safety already in our relationships. Feeling safe keeps your mind, body, and behavior healthy. It provides deeper human connection, promotes self-esteem, as well as improves life expectancy, and safeguards your mental health and overall well-being. So, in conclusion, only trusting yourself is one of the most dangerous things that you can do. It destroys your coping. It puts your well-being at risk. And like I read off earlier, it also destroys your personality. Our personalities are magnified with people. Who we are is learned from everybody around us. So if you are constantly just with yourself, you're not learning anything, you're not growing. You can have fun with yourself sometimes, but if you are just living with yourself in terms of you only trust yourself, you're only doing the things that you are comfortable with, then you are literally choosing to decrease your life expectancy. Kind of counteractive there, because you think that protecting yourself is keeping you away from danger, but it's actually making you more vulnerable towards danger. Speaking of vulnerability, if y'all have seen my How to Be Positive video, I was sharing a very vague explanation of my story. I briefly mentioned that I didn't have anybody to trust. So I guess I'll expand a little bit more on that. My trust started corrupting when I was very little. My close family member, I didn't see her for 10 years. Actually, my life was more familiar without her there. When she did finally come back into my life, I was very innocent, very trustworthy. I had no reason to not trust her. She told me that she would never go back there again. She told me she would change for me. She didn't mean to hurt me. She's so sorry. She's going to become a better person. So me, as like a 12-year-old at that point, I believed her with all my heart in that, and she had my full support. And then the next day, I didn't see her for 3 years because she had gone back. This became a very constant cycle where she would get better for a very short amount of time, and then she would leave again. And this affected, of course, all of my family, including my parents. She would even tell me directly, hey, I'm going to stop doing drugs. I'm going to stop drinking for you. And I would feel so honored, like I was making a difference, and then she'd go right back. And because my brain was developing, my brain kind of processed that as, okay, so you're not worth it. This is not something that I consciously thought of, but it's an idea that was planted in me, is that you're not enough. So this cycle happens for 6 years. And in the midst of this cycle, basically, I had a friend who I had met when I was a child. I was about 6 years old. I had also mentioned this person in my last self-help video. So this was a friendship that had developed over the years. So I just wanted to explain that real quick, is that this is a person that I had met when I was a child. And as we got older, then problems started developing, and so that's kind of the backstory about that. This wasn't someone that I had just become friends with. This was over the years type of thing. So just want to clarify. I had a friend, was very troubled, had a very difficult life, so she would let out all that baggage on me, and I ended up being sexually harassed for 8 years. On top of that, I had another friend who opened herself up to talking to strangers on the internet. At this point, we're 13, and she put us in very, very dangerous situations where we could have died. It also opened the door for me being groomed at 13. And all three of these people had the commonality that they told me that they were going to change and they didn't, or they told me that they were going to do something and they didn't. The sexual harassment story, every adult in my life had failed me with that. I would ask for help, but they would always dump it on me, and they weren't there to help me, to lift the load. And that was a connection that I was forced to keep for 8 years. I could not just drop it. So you see that I was put in a position where I was failed a lot, and I was a very trustworthy person. These people would say, I'm sorry, and then I'd be like, it's okay. And I would put my trust in them again because that's what I was taught. The result of that, I had a lot of hurt. And of course, I never went to therapy. I also was never affirmed that, hey, this is messed up. I was just left to live in that struggle for years and years. And then, of course, there's like other situations where we were very trusted, and I had some friends that I thought were going to be lifelong friends. And then a situation happened, and I lost about 30 friends. And this was right when I developed OCD anxiety, and no one was there to help me because I felt that I was not enough. So all this baggage piling on top of each other resulted in I had no trust for anybody. Why should I? Everyone in my life failed me. No one had ever proved to be trustworthy. I used to say this for years, you have to earn my trust. I start off not trusting anybody. You have to earn it. I have transform this mindset to be a little bit more healthy. If someone told me that they were going to do something, it's like, yeah, right. No, you're not. You're going to mess up. You're going to end up leaving me. You're going to end up hurting me, and I'm going to be alone again. This transformed to where I could not get out of bed because I was so scared of specific situations happening where like there would be something good in my life, and I'd be so prepared for everything to just crumble. This little thing bothered me, and then that little thing would be enhanced because I was just so used to everything being destroyed, everything not working out. Like I said, this is the environment that my brain developed under, so I could not shake these things. These were things that I learned from experience. And so I decided I can only trust myself. However, only trusting yourself is assuming that you don't fail people. Do you keep your word with other people? So can you actually trust yourself? So realistically thinking, when someone has asked you to do something, you said, yeah, I'm going to do it. Have you been able to pull through every single time when you said that you were going to do it? And can you trust yourself? I'm going to get up at 6 a.m. tomorrow. This is my dream body, so I'm going to work out every single day to achieve this goal. I'm going to start eating healthier. I'm going to fix my sleep schedule. I'm not going to scroll on my phone so much. Have you done any of that? Did you work out consistently? Because if so, you're still working out every single day, right? Are you waking up early every single day? So assuming you woke up at 6 a.m. on Sunday, even though it was your day off. So did you go to bed at a good time? Did you go to bed by 10 o'clock? Did you clean your room? Did you make your bed? Did you write that essay? Did you do that dream? Have you been able to keep your own word? So with that in mind, it kind of makes it a little bit easier to put your trust in people, doesn't it? Because with trusting people, we're constantly thinking, well, this person's going to hurt me. They're going to let me down. They're not going to keep their word. But adopting this mindset makes you realize, oh wait, I haven't even kept my word. So the first step to trusting people is realizing that everybody's not perfect. The important thing is a balance. But there are times where you are going to get hurt. Realize the realistic factor. We are sinful people. We are people that mess up. Now, it's highly encouraged that we try our best and that we are constantly growing. So it's better to determine whether or not you should trust this person by the more important things, not the small things, because you yourself have not been able to keep your end of the bargain either. Number 3, maybe you can't trust people because you're surrounded by liars and not people who actually have your best interest at heart. They've not been trustworthy people. So instead of limiting yourself to being like, hey, I have trust issues, how about let's try our best to get out of that situation and actually start paying attention to people that actually care about us. So like, what did I do? Because I was literally surrounded with people that hurt me, right? So what did I do? Because I couldn't exactly escape it. What I stopped doing was putting my value in that person. Don't put your trust in people that you know will let you down. Trust is not something that you gamble with. So for instance, the person in my family, it had been proven to me that she constantly was definitely not a person of her word at all, still to this day. So what I had to do was I had to stop gambling my trust with her. Hey, maybe she's changed, so I'm going to trust her. Let's not put something as valuable as trust with someone who has never proven that you can trust them. So what you have to do is you have to set boundaries with that person. Give people chances. If it is something where it's like years of no change, I would definitely say it's wise to not put your trust on that person. They're clearly not a person that you should associate with, because I'm assuming you want to change, you want to become a better person. Believe it or not, you actually can have trust again. It can be dependable. You can rely on people. Believe it or not, you can be happy. Put boundaries where boundaries need to be put. No matter what relationship that person is to you, you have to put boundaries there for your well-being. I'm not going to have a lot of conversation with that person. I'm going to distance myself. And that way you can have room to where you can actually become the person that you want to be. So it's okay to have boundaries with those people. It doesn't matter if they are your mom, your dad, your sister, or any other type of relationship. It's okay to have boundaries with people. It's actually healthier to have boundaries with that person. Put yourself in the position to where you actually believe you are enough. You do deserve to have good relationships. Put yourself in the position where you can believe in good relationships, because believe it or not, I learned this. They're out there. And it's something that I'm still learning to believe that, hey, this worst case scenario is actually not going to happen, because this person is way different than the people that hurt me. So you look for that evidence of them being a good person. And on top of that, be willing to be uncomfortable and to try new things. This is going to be really hard, but you can do hard things. And like I said, I'm still learning that good things do happen. Find a new group of friends. Find new activities that you can build positive connections with. There's a lot of communities out there where people actually believe in you. It's uncomfortable. I don't usually do this. I don't really like hanging out with people. People scare me. So I'm going to try it anyway. You need good human connection in order to build trust again. Prove yourself wrong. Prove your doubts wrong. And instead of waiting for bad things to happen, have the mindset of resilience to be able to withstand or recover quickly from difficult conditions. So instead of waiting for bad things to happen, be like, hey, if something bad does happen, I'm fine. Carry on. Keep going. I'll be okay. I'm going to keep on living though. I'm not going to waste my life on not trusting people, stunting my growth. As someone diagnosed with chronic anxiety and depression, good habits are things that you have to build. Building the mindset of resilience has made life so much brighter. The grass and leaves have literally looked greener. The sky has looked bluer. Life has been easier, as well as the hard times when I've thought, I'm going to be fine. It makes building trust with people so much easier. Like if I am surrounded by positive people and people that do keep their word and they mess up, it's not that big of a deal because I know who they are. I know that they are a trustworthy person. That puts myself in a place of forgiveness and that puts myself in a place of trust because I'm trusting who they are because I've studied their character. I've spent time with them. I know how I feel after I hang out with this person and we're going to overcome this together. So lead your life with positivity. Don't be a follower of bad situations. Stand up and be like, hey, I'm going to have a good life, so I'm going to lead it with positivity. I control my emotions. I control my thought processes. No matter if anxiety and OCD reside in me, I still control my reactions. Therefore, I'm going to lead my life. I'm going to lead my thoughts. I'm going to lead my actions to support joy, to support happiness, to support positivity, to support trust. Just a reminder again, good people are out there. Once you find those people, because I believe in you that you're going to find those people. You might have to move states even to find them. Trust me, they are out there. And once you find them, let your brain relearn it because you will be pleasantly surprised. And it's going to feel different because you're used to feeling bad. You're used to feeling hurt. Feels good. Something has to happen. Something wrong is going to happen. Maybe not. What's the best that could happen? So you're going to find it as long as you keep your boundaries and you lead your life with positivity and you put yourself in situations of success. There are people ready to love you. They want to love you, ready to show you that you are enough just as you are, and you won't have to change yourself. Keep working on yourself, but you don't have to change yourself in order for them to love you. There are people who have your best interest at heart. There are people who want to see you thrive. They want to see you resilient. They want to see you radiant. So look for those people. Change your situation. I did it. And no matter how long the journey takes, be persistent. You got to keep going. As long as you keep on this path, there really is a good life ahead of you. That's all I wanted to say. Go and thrive. If you liked this video, please let me know in the comments. And I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.